Could be a problem if you're making a video on garbage truck day. You've got these 300-pound burly men driving these giant 10-ton trucks right beside your house, crashing the concrete, making earthquake sounds. I don't know. Anyways, in today's presentation, I think the title of today's presentation will be Today's Appetizer Watch Could Be Tomorrow's Main Course. I think that's going to be the title of today's video presentation. To get to that part of the video presentation, I think we need to start with my claustrophobia, and then go into how I overcame claustrophobia yesterday, my fear of pain, and then I bragged about it, and then I had a moment this morning where I realized I have no right to be bragging. So let's begin with the claustrophobia. Ladies and gentlemen, I have stage 3 claustrophobia. In 2007, it was very apparent. I had to get an MRI. And what happened was I had 30% loss of hearing in my right ear, and the doctor wanted to rule out a brain tumor. So I had an open MRI. Open MRI is not as bad as a closed MRI, but when you're a claustrophobe, as I am, it's a big deal. I called my mechanic, my car mechanic. I asked him if I could borrow his dolly so that I could roll under my desk and simulate the claustrophobic conditions. He just laughed at me. He goes, is this a prank phone call, Jeff? No, I need to practice. As it turns out, he never did let me borrow his dolly, but I did crawl under my desk just to get used to what it would be like to be in an MRI machine. I had to take Valium, a lot of Valium. My wife had to hold my my ankle, and so that I would, if I gave her the signal, I would know she would pull me out. Bear in mind, I had to wear a cage around my head. It was scary. What else? Oh, we made a easy listening CD. I remember there was some music from Chicago. I've been searching so long to find an answer. Yes. Don't sing, McMahon, because last time you sang, you were attacked by a dog. So, the good news is, there was no brain tumor or anything. I just had a loss of hearing, probably from going to rock concerts when I was young, listening to music too loud in my 1982 Toyota Tercel. Yes. So I had another event, 2018 at Universal Studios. I was on a ride called Harry Potter. As soon as they put the metal strap around my chest, I couldn't breathe. I had an attack of claustrophobia. They had to close the whole ride down. A 6'2" security guy escorted me off the premises. It was humiliating. The worst claustrophobia attack I had was I was practicing jiu-jitsu 2003 with Henner Gracie. He's 6'4". He's been doing jiu-jitsu since he was a baby. And we had to wear gis. And I remember he had me in the guard. And he was on top of me. I'm in the guard. And I'm supposed to practice an escape. I'm supposed to wiggle my hips and get it, and he has gis over my face. I can't breathe, and I'm saying, I can't breathe. And his father, Horion, is standing. Make him suffer. Make him go through the pain barrier. And this would happen every week for 2 years. I finally quit. Yeah, I lost my honor due to claustrophobia. This claustrophobia translates into some difficult scenarios at the dentist. Now, I've had claustrophobia attacks at the dentist as well. Dr. Tom, he's been my dentist for 20 years. He's seen me have a couple attacks. Yesterday, I had to go to the dentist, and it was an unusual episode because he told me beforehand, you will not get any Novocaine for this filling. In fact, this is actually a filling you've already had, and I see some leakage. And I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to drill, and I'm going to take care of the leakage. I'm going to, put a filling over your pre-existing filling, and you're not going to get any. You're not going to get Novocaine. You're not going to need it. We're not going to go much further than the enamel. We're not going to go maybe a little further, but not much. We're not going to waste any Novocaine. We're not going to numb you up. Forget about it. So I'm thinking of, I get obsessive. I start having thoughts building up in my mind. I go in there and I'm telling myself, don't humiliate yourself. Don't have a Henry Gracie episode. Don't have an MRI episode. Don't have a Harry Potter Universal Studios episode. Be chill, man. So Dr. Tom, he's got me reclined all the way. I hate being reclined all the way. I'd rather be 3/4 up, but I'm reclined all the way down. I got all the stuff in my mouth. I got lights on me. You got the assistant there, dental assistant. Dr. Tom just asked me some questions, what's going on? And I'm the type of guy, if you ask me what's going on, I tell you. I said, honestly, my wife and I bought a $2,500 washer and dryer 5.5 years ago. The warranty just ended, and I didn't renew it because they wanted $1,000 for a 5-year warranty, and I thought that was too much. That's like half the price of a brand new stackable washer and dryer. So, of course, after the warranty goes out and I don't renew it, we're getting an error button, E1 F3, on the Whirlpool. And that means there's a sensory, the water sensor could be out, or you might have an overload or weight distribution. You got all this stuff. And I'm saying, my wife doesn't want to get a new unit. She says it's a great machine. We should get it fixed, but I don't know who to call. And so he got me someone named Oscar in Manhattan Beach. So he got that for me, and then we started talking about real estate, because my buddy Pedro bought some rental property, and we started talking about how hard it is to be a landlord in California. The laws make it really tough to be a landlord. It's hard to get tenants out. Tenants could sue you for so many things, for harassment, even though you're the one being harassed, even though you got to make your payments on time, and your tenant hasn't paid you in over 6 months. So, I don't know, man. I'm glad I'm not a landlord. But the point is this. Here's the point. Obviously, I got a bunch of stuff in my mouth, so I wasn't talking a lot. I was talking a little bit, but mostly I was listening to my dentist. The point is, I felt nothing. I was in a complete state of euphoria. It's almost like my dentist and I were old buddies at the Redondo Brewery, drinking stout, eating burgers, and just talking. And for a guy who doesn't like going to the dentist with claustrophobia to be in this euphoric state, I'm still processing it. That's insane. So I'm very proud of it. And so this morning, the day after I went to the dentist, I was at Trader Joe's at 8:15 in the morning, and I was in the frozen food section. And Don is about 10 years younger than I am. I assume he's in his early 50s, late 40s. He's 6'4". He's lanky. He looks like a surfer dude. And Don, there's no turnover at Trader Joe's, so I know all the people that work there. I've been shopping at this Trader Joe's since 2003, so like 21 years. And so I know him. He knows me, and he asks me, he goes, "What's the news, man?" I'll tell you what the news is, buddy. You're looking at a dude who had a filling yesterday, and I didn't get a Novocaine. So stand back and watch out, because I'm the man. And so he laughed. We started talking about that for a while. And then he asked me about Trader Joe's, and I said, I love this place, man. It's a nice small store. I don't like shopping at big stores. It's dehumanizing. Love Trader Joe's. Then I told him about wanting to get a washer and dryer or a mechanic, and how hard it is to find a good mechanic. And he said, dude, recently I had to buy a washer and dryer side by side, and it was so hard to get the person to fill out the forms correctly. It's like incompetent. And I said, you know what? You and I are kind of old. And I have mixed feelings about this, but I wonder if we live in this new age of incompetence. It seems like we do. It seems like, I don't know, man. Am I right? And he goes, yeah, I think you are. He goes, because part of me doubts it. Like, sometimes I just think we're old men, and old men stand on the lawn and they complain. And he asked me, why are we so grouchy? I'll tell you why. Because we're old and we miss being young. Once you're young, being young is a drug. You can't forget about it. And so you're going to be grouchy because you're not young anymore. You're not going to do a Mike Menster heavy-duty bodybuilding program and then have your muscles grow at 60 years of age like they did when you were 16. So you're just grouchy. It's natural. But so anyway, that mixed feelings. Do we live in this age of incompetence? And I was bragging to him about how brave I was at the dentist. And then I go in my car, and I am a watch obsessive. And the sun's coming through the foggy clouds. And I started thinking about watches. I started thinking about a couple Citizens I might get in 2024. They're not available yet. At least not at the price I want. You know how it is, you get new stuff. And so I had this thought in my mind. I go, what if you bought the Citizen Echo Zilla Hulk, the green Hulk, as an appetizer? And it made me think this addictive behavior called the Appetizer Watch. So what is the Appetizer Watch? You know how it is when you're in a restaurant and you're waiting for your main course to come and you're hungry, and you want to be hungry when the main course comes. You're trying to discipline yourself, and on the table is sourdough bread, olive tapenade, hummus, there's pats of butter, there might be some chili calamari. You know, there's all this stuff, man, all these appetizers, and you're trying to hold off, man, until the main course comes. And watch addicts are the same way. Watch addicts are the same way. We sometimes we have a main course coming, or we're waiting for that main course to be available, and we're so addicted to watches. This, I can't believe I'm telling you this, but a lot of you guys know this. To stave off the hunger of getting the main course watch, we buy an appetizer watch. Usually an appetizer watch is between $500 and $1,000, in my experience. An appetizer watch. And I want to just tell you guys, I want to make a case against buying an appetizer watch. Let me make some arguments. Number one, you're buying it in a state of hunger. You should never buy something when you're hungry. I remember in the 70s, I read a newspaper article about don't go grocery shopping when you're hungry. You'll spend like 30% more. And so I've always eaten a full meal before going to the grocery store. It's just a rule. And it's the same thing with watches. Do you really want to buy a watch when you're hungry? Well, some of you are saying, McMahon, I'm always hungry. And I concede your point. For some of you guys, you're always hungry. But some of you guys will tell me, I'm full. I'm done. I'm full. So I don't know. I don't think you should surrender so easily. I mean, I surrendered too quickly to Gracie during that sparring. Granted, he's a jiu-jitsu champion, but man, I should not have surrendered to my claustrophobia attack so quickly. I lost face. I lost honor. I still think about that. It was 21 years ago. You know, it's a violation of the ancient wisdom to surrender so quickly. Yeah, I mean, the ancient wisdom is all about self-mastery. Do you really think Buddha is going to approve of you buying an appetizer watch? Do you really think Buddha is going to say, yes, sir, that is the path of enlightenment? I don't think so. Do you really think David, after having an affair with Bathsheba and he's writing some guilt-laden poetry in the lily fields, is going to look at you and say, yeah, buy that Omega. You need that appetizer Omega. Yeah, do it. It'll be good for your soul. You think David would do that? You think St. Paul, you know, the master of self-compulsion, writing the Epistle of Romans, is going to tell you it's a good move to get that Seiko as an appetizer watch? Oh, yes. You will be able to see through the glass clearly. Oh, yeah. Do you think Plato is going to approve of you buying an appetizer watch? Plato is going to say, oh, yes. That brand new Longines is the real image on the cave. It's not the puppet shadows on the cave. It's real. Get that Longines as your appetite. Yeah, right, Plato. Yeah, I'm sure he's going to approve of it. Here's the other thing I want to tell you about buying an appetizer watch. Usually they don't last. Usually end up selling them. You know how hard it is to sell your appetizer watches on eBay? It's like trying to fight on the Russian front in the winter. Brutal. It's brutal, man. You don't want to do that. And then my last argument for not buying an appetizer watch is the famous marshmallow test, or the marshmallow experiment. There's a very famous experiment, you can Google it, where children are presented with a marshmallow and they say, well, you can have one now, or master your temptation and we'll give you more. You can have more later, or you can just have this one now. It's unbelievable. Like, the children who were able to maintain their urges, their compulsion control, they did long-term studies. They were more successful. And then the kids who could not maintain their suppress their urges, they were not as successful. In fact, they had higher rates of incarceration. So in a way, those of us who are watch addicts, as we have our eyes on the main course, we just find ourselves we're in our own marshmallow test, so to speak. Now, some of you are going to be mad at me. Some of you are going to say, McMahon, don't you get in the way of me and my watch, my appetizer, as you call it. Okay, I'm not going to get in your way. You're angry. I get it. If you want it that bad, maybe it works for you. I don't know. Maybe. And here's another argument. Some of you will say, McMahon, who's to say that the appetizer watch of today might not be a main course tomorrow? That's interesting. Watch addiction, watch desire, watch obsession is kind of a shape-shifting world, isn't it? Like, a watch that you perceive today as an appetizer, a year from now could be a main course. I mean, I've had calamari, spicy chili calamari, which is on the appetizer part of the menu, served to me as the entree. Yeah, I'm breaking rules. And some of you want to break rules and it works for you. So I'm not here to give you absolutes. I mean, I'm just happy that I survived going to the dentist without Novocaine. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever had like this impatience? You couldn't wait for the main course watch to show up and you were actually looking for appetizer watches? Is it just me? I don't think it is. Be honest with me. Let me know what you think. All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, I'm out.